Hello and welcome to this episode of the Guys with Glasses podcast. I'm Bendito John, and I have with me No Name Josh, and a special guest star with us today, Joey D. Wise Joey D.
Hello.
Joey D was a special guest with us a few weeks ago, and he's back in Northern Ireland, back in Belfast, and he's joining us all the way from across the pond.
Yes. Hello.
Yes. Sadly, we couldn't get the video working, but whatever.
We'll try to get it working next week. But what's crazy is that apparently Josh and Joey D's video connection is better than me and Josh's, and me and Josh only live like a couple hundred miles away from each other.
Yeah.
So this is kind of sad, the sad state of internet telephony. But on this week's episode, we have some hot topics to talk about. We got the beta for Titanfall. That was huge. That was awesome.
And it was
we want
awesome.
to chat about that. Yeah, we want to chat about the new Donkey Kong Country game that came out. That's really cool. And from the vault, we played a little bit of Dead Space 3 multiplayer co-op, so we want to chat about that a little bit. And the crazy tech news of WhatsApp getting bought out for $19 billion.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. So let's talk about that topic first, guys.
Okay.
That hot tech topic. So if you weren't aware, WhatsApp is a chatting app that's on all the phones. It's really popular, especially I think in Asia and in Europe. And they have 500 million users roughly, which is just crazy. And apparently Google was thinking about buying them for like $10 billion, and they turned it down. And then Facebook said they were going to buy them for $19 billion.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Wow.
And so what it equated to was about Facebook paid like $43 per user, basically.
Could they
Jesus.
could they just have given me that money instead? Just like, hello,
yeah.
40,
Just give me a little skim off the top.
just give me $43. Hello. I'll be happy.
Yeah, and it's insane, so people were kind of thinking that, they weren't buying this necessarily for their service. They were buying this so that Google didn't get their hands on it. And so now this is kind of like the tech chat wars and stuff. But have you guys ever used WhatsApp? What's your guys' thoughts on it?
I have never used it.
What? Really? Have you
Have
ever
you,
used
Jordy?
it, John? Have you ever used it, John?
I downloaded it. I played with it for all of 2 seconds, and then I said none of my friends are using it, so I didn't.
Are you
use it anymore.
serious? That is
So Facebook paid
mind-blowing.
$43 to have me, even though I never even touched it.
Hey, did you feel cheap, John? They should have at least been paying you $100. Come on.
Exactly.
Have some
That's
respect.
all I'm
You're-
worth. That's all I'm
You're a
worth.
classy girl.
But Joy D, you live in Europe. What's is it popular there?
Yeah, that actually blows my mind that neither of you have it. That actually, and that none of your friends do. It blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
I get you don't
Yeah.
have the video recording. Actually, that's probably better. You don't, because I was going to hold up all my contacts. That wouldn't have been good. But basically, yeah, like everyone here has it. Like, that just blows my mind. It's kind of like. Wow. But yeah, everyone here uses it. I've got all my friends here in Belfast have it. Even friends who've moved like kind of around the world, they have it still, and
Yeah.
somehow it still works, and it's all awesome.
So do
yeah.
people use it rather than text messaging?
Yep, there's my friends actually, and it use it a lot. They set up like what you can do is do group chats, and you can have like 7 people, you can have 8 people, you can keep doing multiple group chats. You can have just one-on-ones. You can drop out of it, do one-on-one back into it. You can send your videos, your pictures and everything. It's really amazing. Like it's a pretty amazing messaging app, and people do use it here instead of the SMS stuff.
Do people in Europe, do they still pay for text messages, or is it like do you just get kind of the bare minimum?
We've moved a lot to insane amounts of text messaging, so that it is technically unlimited. Like, I saw today in the grocery store, the grocery store here, called Tesco, they have their own mobile plans, and you can get 5,000 texts a month. And my one I'm on is unlimited text.
Yeah.
So it actually is something like I prefer to text sometimes, but yeah, like it's one of those things where we don't pay for text, but it's just WhatsApp is an amazing, just the presentation, the ease of use. And like I said, you can attach pictures. It isn't MMS bullshit. It's proper,
Well, you know what's also crazy is that so Facebook has like I don't know 5,000 engineers or whatever that that work on the site and everything. WhatsApp only has 40 engineers. This is
What?
insane. That
What?
40 engineers for a service that supports 500 million users. And their motto is basically like, we're not flashy, we don't have all the annoying ads, we just go straight up with uptime guarantees, and just making a really solid experience. I don't know, Josh, what's your thoughts on that? I mean, like, do you think $19 billion was like, that was too much? Is this crazy or what?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically paying everybody like they're a baseball player. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where they're like,
Yeah.
Right.
every 5 seconds they make $43, and it's like, that's how much time you spent. Hey, Joey,
Yeah?
I'm going to message all those people you're showing on the video right now.
We're not recording this video, but we saw all the secret messages.
All
in
throughout.
contact.
But this is the thing, actually. Do you know what? Like, what I'm doing is I'm just showing all these topics of conversation, and for example, there's a risk topic where one of my friends bought a Risk game, and he's like inviting us all to come along. So there's all these messages from like 4 or 5 different people, and last night I just went to a get together with some friends, and again that was organized through WhatsApp, and so yeah, it's certainly here in Europe, here in UK, Ireland, it's something which everyone uses every weekend, every evening. Like, you're organizing something, you do WhatsApp. It's that
It's
popular.
nuts.
Yeah, so text messaging in me, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I love all the latest gadgets, but sometimes I feel like a Luddite when it comes to like text messaging because like I miss this whole text messaging bandwagon that happened like 10 years ago.
Wait,
And-
come back!
Yeah, and so lately I've been trying to like type, and it's like, man, I'm trying to do like a Facebook message, or something on there. And I mean, well, it's kind of interesting, and I don't know if WhatsApp does this, but I was texting on the bus, and then it told my friend that I was texting my location, and it says traveling on the 520 road, and
What?
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, that it's like, you can kind of see where your friends are going and stuff. In fact, kind of on the tech subject, but changing rails a little bit, I downloaded the app called Waze, W-A-Z-E. Have you guys heard of this yet?
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically like a
No.
social network traveling app, and you turn it on, it's like a GPS, it gives you directions and stuff, but it also communicates out how long it's taking you in traffic to get to a location compared to with other users. And you
That's
can
cool.
report out that it's like there's like a police officer that's up there like doing speed stops. They actually have like, you can say that there's a speed camera here, and there's a speed camera here, but it's not working, so you can report out that like this is like a fake speed camera.
Nice.
And so it's kind of cool to actually like reroute you in real time based on other users. And so I don't know, like that recently got bought out by Google, so that'll kind of be interesting to see how that expands out. But it's just crazy, like these apps, and it's all about the users, and it's crazy that they'll spend like billions of dollars for these users. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, we have to get just billions of listeners to this podcast.
I know!
That's the
Well,
objective.
I mean, that
here.
would be amazing.
Yeah, but,
Yeah. I mean, we just have to get like 4 billion users and then sell this for a gazillion dollars.
Yeah, 19 billion. I'd be fine with that.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
go and then go around and hand everyone, $43. It's like, hello, there you go.
Uh,
Shifting gears over to the Titanfall beta. Have you guys had an opportunity to check this out yet?
hell yeah. I was so excited.
So, Josh, what was your thoughts on it? What did you think?
It's awesome. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not like a huge Call of Duty fan, but that's how I would explain it. Is Call of Duty with mechs, and
That's
just
a good
makes
formula for success. I
Oh,
just gotta say.
hell
I mean,
yeah,
like-
it is. I had a ton of fun playing it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
I worked better without the suit though. I swear to God, every time I got in the suit, some a-hole jumped on the back of it and just beat me to death.
Well, that's what's pretty cool about it. So it's like you start off, you're not in a mech, you're just a regular soldier, but it has parkour. So it's kind of like you're doing like Mirror's Edge style, where like you can run against walls. You have like a double jump jetpack, and some of the levels are kind of close. Well, they only showed off 2 in the beta, but some are like tight and close quarters, and another one is really big and wide open. And then there's like different guns that you can upgrade to and stuff. So it's really cool, actually when you're a soldier like that. But then after a couple of minutes of gameplay, everyone gets a Titan, and then once your Titan dies, it takes a couple minutes to regen. So it's not like Call of Duty where there's like you have to earn it basically. So you have to get a lot of kills, which means that it's really hard. It's like everyone gets a Titan, and so that makes it just really fun. And like when you're in a Titan, like the gameplay is totally different. Like you can't go into those close quarters as easily. People are kind of hiding around stuff. But taking out other giant titans is just so much fun. It's
so satisfying. Yeah, that's exactly what I feel. It's just awesome when you catch them off guard. It's amazing. They're like shooting down the road at your friends, and you just like show up and launch a salvo of rockets from your arm cannon. You know, you're like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think actually this is the perfect name for it. It's called rodeoing. And you can jump onto an ally Titan onto their back. So if you don't have a Titan, you're just like in your normal parkour suit. You can jump on the back and you can just shoot shit like on the back of him. So like you get all his his defense and his speed and everything. And then you can also rodeo enemy Titans, and it's hard because they can squash you. But if you're able to jump up there, you like peel off a piece of their panel and you expose some of their electronics, and you can pistol shoot into their system, and then you can take them down really easily. So it's just badass. There's just a lot of cool stuff I think that they added.
The first time that happened to me, I had no idea. I'm like, why am I dying? I'm like spinning around trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And then, I hop out, and there's some dude jumps off the back of it, and I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Yeah, and Joey D, tell me if you've ever heard about this in some other games, but it's pretty cool that when you walk into a Titan, there's like this little voice command that kind of comes up, and it's like, welcome to your Titan kind of thing. And then it says, there are 2 enemy Titans. Recommendation is to, run away. Or it says, like, there is an enemy on your back. Get off and kill them. So there's, like, a helpful computer that's kind of, like, walking you through situations the whole time. Do you guys know of any other examples, maybe of some other games that might have done that? I was kind of thinking, like, Cortana, maybe a little bit. Like, Cortana kind of walking you through. But...
I can't really think of anything.
Or Bastion, with that's actually my wife.
That's a good one. Yeah,
with Bastion, like the narrator's kind of talking through your experience. It's cool.
The mechs are just awesome. That's all I gotta say. It's so cool when they fall from the sky. Like you can literally see them like burning through the atmosphere, and then they like slam into the ground. And
it's just to look cool. It's just to look badass.
Oh yeah,
that's the whole point of it. Like. In this game, you could tell like they were in a meeting room and they just said, "What would be awesome?" And then like there was some great ideas that came out of this.
Yeah, Oh, one of the coolest parts is the fact when you get in, like the Titan grabs you and literally puts you inside of it. Like it throws you into its like cabin. It looks so awesome.
That's awesome. It's wow.
The little things.
Jody, are you a fan of mech games? Have you ever played any others? Did you ever play like Armored Core or Xenogears or anything?
I actually didn't. I mean I was Space Sim guy, X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter, Free Space 2, but I never got to actually play mech, apart from at PAX 2 years ago when we played Hawken.
Oh yeah,
Hawken,
and I sucked, and it was...
I sucked horribly,
So we were playing against
You kicked my ass, I think, if I remember right.
No, there was pros, we were like, it was so stupid, like, I just thought it was going to be me and you playing. No, we were playing against, like, two hardcore, like, mech people. It's like, oh god. But, it's...
So there's
awesome.
There's some Oculus Rift, like, space sims that are coming out, and they look amazing. In fact, that's been this first announced title, that Oculus Rift actually is publishing, I think is what it is, and it's going to be in the Eve universe, I believe, right, Josh?
Oh, what, really?
I can't remember.
Yeah, and so Eve Online, and it's just like this first person, space thing. I'm like, this would be awesome, like a first person like Titanfall in the mech experience, and a first person.
It would be amazing. Yeah,
I
agree.
That would be amazing.
First person Hawken.
Yeah. I'm excited. I am so excited for that game to come out. I feel like a huge nerd. Like, yeah, mechs, I'm so awesome.
Oh, no, I mean, what's crazy, too? I mean, kind of just getting to the geeky part of the servers is that they had some mega servers that are going on, and I was getting latencies of, like, 20 like a ping of 20. It was
Oh,
just
that's
amazing.
right,
Like
yeah.
like
Whoa.
super really good ones. And actually, a really cool feature that they also added to this game that I hope is kind of a trend in the future is that on Xbox One, it's a maximum of 6 versus 6 players, which in the levels are really really big. That would seem kind of sparse, but they have a bunch of what do they call them? Minions
Yeah,
or
minions.
specters?
Yeah.
Minions and specters and stuff. Basically, just like little AI guys that are running around, and they can kill you, but they normally don't. They're really weak and they can be killed really easily. But they're out there, they're shooting. You can see their bullets going. You know, like they're a part of your team. Like they come in on their own little like vehicle things, and they're running around. And it's cool because it kind of gives like this immersiveness of this epic battle. You know, so rather than feeling like it's 6 on 6, it almost feels like it's 30 on 30.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And-
Actually, it's awesome because it does feel like that. At first, I didn't realize that there was. I was like, "Man, these players are really bad." Is what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm just like
They look like real
mowing
players.
them
And
down.
you can, they only look different on your radar.
Yeah,
So you can actually like kind of go, and then once you kill them, you're getting more EXP. You don't have to kill them if you don't want to. You can just go after real humans, but they can make like your Titan come quicker if you're doing that, or they can give you like level ups faster. But yeah, and it's fun because you can also watch them and like they'll do like little animations, like they'll like be kicking an enemy or like dragging them.
Oh
and,
wow.
like, so it's not just like hide behind a corner shoot. Like they actually have some fun intelligence built in.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's pretty cool.
it looks like a fun game. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome.
It does. It does.
It sounds awesome. It's. I'm definitely jealous that you've got to have a go. Oh wow.
We gotta get you an Xbox One, is what you're saying. There.
Yeah.
So, Joy D, you played Dead Space, right? Dead Space multiplayer.
Yes, from the future to the past. It's been. Yeah, I'm definitely a very casual gamer, so I kind of not quite the bleeding edge, but me and my friend downloaded Dead Space 3, and I think I think me and Josh, we were both kind of moaning about it last time, but basically it was very interesting to play it. What me and my friend found was that the single player, the atmosphere was from the first two was very different. All this thing was changed or gone or whatever, but playing co-op, oh my god, it was amazing. Like it was just like I enjoyed it because it kind of it made sense of what they've done to Dead Space.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I see. This
Yeah.
is why it's become very frat boy, bro. Bros,
Bro gamer.
bro gamer. Like it's kind of
Drink some
like,
brewskis, play some Dead
yeah, right,
Space.
yeah. Okay, wait, let's do this. And then basically it just was like, okay, okay, I can see why they've completely sacrificed the horror genre for like
Yeah.
at the altar of frat boys. Like it was very interesting. And yeah, like we actually have had a good time playing it, but it's very telling for me anyway. Coming from like old school stuff, and I wasn't even good at old school stuff when it was new school, but basically, but it was like, I mean, things like that are very telling. For example, I mean, Josh, did you find this? Like, you can never run out of health or ammo. Like, geez, like
Yeah.
and my friend actually told me to bring up a point, because I was saying about this, talking with you guys, and he was like, make sure you mention that the universal ammo thing, in Dead Space is universal ammo now. So instead of like picking up like it used to be like Dead Space horror survival, picking up like you have 2 guns or 3 guns, but you can only pick up maybe 2 different types of ammo, or you have enough space for only say 3 clips for this gun and 1 clip for this gun,
Yeah.
and you're at the end of a corridor and you're slumped and you've got red health and you're, oh my god. Now it's just like boom boom boom, like you just just throw in all the ammo.
Oh, I know.
Just
Is that this push towards more approachable or gameplay?
Yeah.
Like, why do you think they did that?
Well, see, this is my problem with doing this, because everybody who wants to play Dead Space is expecting this horror thing right here.
yeah.
And then, who's not going to switch from Call of Duty to Dead Space in the
Yeah,
middle,
yeah.
at the end of a series? The frat boy. He's going to go, I've played 6 Call of Duties. I'm not going to go and pick up Dead Space 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
plus the experience isn't as polished as, say, a Call of Duty situation.
Yeah.
So, but the co-op experience, I mean, do you feel like that this is going to be kind of the trend maybe in the future for like a Dead Space 4? Is that
I hope not.
They're going to continue focusing on that?
I hate the co-op. It takes away any scariness.
Yeah.
And that's why I play that game, is for the, like, oh my god, I'm going to die, and that nervous feeling.
Well, did you guys play Resident Evil, was it 5?
Oh, that one's not scary
4?
either.
Yeah, it's not.
Hey, bro, let's make it run and gun. Oh, that's so awesome. Although, I did have fun with the game. I don't know. It wasn't Resident Evil. I'm like, they only put Resident Evil on this box to sell copies. Otherwise, it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the genre because I'm a total scaredy cat and I'll piss my pants. But I did play co-op Resident Evil, which is the one that was set in Africa.
Yeah.
Was it 4 or 5?
5.
I don't know which one.
Yeah.
5. Yeah. So I did play that one, and yeah, it wasn't scary at all.
No.
Like, you know, I was like, oh, this is totally fine, and I actually enjoyed it. So I don't know if maybe that was it's not catering to its core audience, but it did bring me into playing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You're like,
if that's the definition of success.
Phew, I didn't need all these depends pads for the like, they can go back in the box.
Yeah, like we were talking about that Alien game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, screw that.
I watched some more
I'll be
videos
buying a
on
bunch
it.
of
I'm
Depends
like,
for that one.
I'm like, this is awesome. This looks amazing.
It does look amazing. That's the spiritual successor to Dead Space series. I think, like Josh was saying, exactly what Josh was saying. There's a problem with them. You know, they kind of changed it. Like, oh yeah, come on, bros, come on, frat boys, come on. Like, you know, this is a great gaming franchise. Join us. And then it was like, obviously they didn't do that in enough numbers. And like you were saying, Josh, fair play, because it's 6 games. You're not going to go, oh, I'm going to go for this other game. And the thing is, my friend was pointing this out, that Dead Space 3, it shouldn't have been called Dead Space 3. It should have been called, like, Space Bros with Zombies or something. Or, you know, it should have been called, like, you know, Adventures in Space with Zombies. It should have been something other than Dead Space 3. And then you wouldn't have, I wouldn't have complained.
Space Bros.
And then,
Yeah, I know, I agree. It would be a good game had it not been called Dead Space. You know,
yes.
It's the same thing with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been upset that it was a Resident Evil game if it was not named Resident Evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 6th one is even worse. Mark and Nick were so pissed they bought that game.
Oh, yeah.
I played the demo. It was horrible.
They turned it into, like, what do you call it? Transporter. Just the outrageousness is crazy. Like, zombies in a helicopter, and like, what the
What?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, these games, they just go so far away from their roots, you know, and then it just not fun anymore, you know? They alienated their original audience.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Do you think
it was
they'll
a
ever,
poor idea.
what do you think? Like these massive hulking kind of, they're almost like space wrecks now. Like these, you know, Resident Evil and Dead Space orbiting, you know, out of control, no life in them. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, are they gonna Are they gonna burn up? Or are they gonna actually be rebooted and go back to their original sort of
I don't know.
programming?
I think they might have abandoned Dead Space after the 3rd one. It didn't sell what. It didn't sell
well.
Well, it didn't sell as well as they'd hoped, and a lot of fans who were in it for the horror saw that it wasn't horror anymore and backed off, and there wasn't enough of the bro guys
Space
jumping
Bros
in.
action.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. And that's unfortunate. So, I mean, they basically just killed the series, you know?
I hope not, but they might have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 games is like the tops for like any series, because happened with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
First one, bomb. Second one, they were like, well, let's make it appeal a little more to the bros. We'll like not have as much like messing around with armor and guns, and it'll be more run and gun than like conserving ammo and being all nice. And then the third one's just like, you can't talk to basically any of your crew members half the time, and now it's just like shoot everything that fucking moves, and it plays like, you know, it plays like Call of Duty again. It's just like obnoxious.
Yeah. You know, and I'm wondering, like, in Titanfall, you know, this is a new genre that kind of like, I feel like it really revitalized, rejuvenated kind of this Call of Duty franchise style. are we gonna start seeing like a lot of like Titan mech games now?
Oh, yeah.
Are we gonna start seeing is this gonna start a new trend? And it's like is this gonna be like a new like Modern Warfare? It's not gonna be like the new Titan Warfare.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be. If it's successful,
I think
there's
it's
just gonna be S loads of mech games that come out. You know what I mean? And they're all gonna be like, yeah, let's shoot everything and blow up stuff. I mean,
well, talking about another series that's been around a long time is Donkey Kong Country. Josh, you got the latest one, right?
Hell
nice.
yeah, it's actually pretty cute. I don't know.
What's it called? Donkey Kong
Island Freeze.
Oh yeah, Island Freeze.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's the beginning video is just adorable and funny. There's like just a bunch of penguins on a ship, and they roll up and like blow this horn, and it brings in all the cold weather, and it freezes up, DK's island, and I don't know.
It's kind of just that like classic gameplay. I mean, like what's different about this one?
Not really anything. I guess that's like kind of the deal with Nintendo, right? They find something that works and they just repeat it endlessly.
So actually we were just kind of saying that it's like Dead Space wasn't staying true to its core philosophy, but then like Zelda and Mario have stayed true to their core philosophy for 20 years.
And look at how good those games are.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, but then sometimes it's like, oh, it's just a rehash, like, oh yeah, another dungeon. I don't know. Like, do you feel like those are kind of like safe bets? I mean, I think there's kind of a good middle ground.
Well, see, the thing is with Zelda, every time they put out a new one, they change like a little aspect of something. Like, Ocarina of Time, it was for all the time travel, and with
Train Tracks, they had the Wind Waker with the bow.
Yeah, and then you've got like with the most recent one, A Link Between Worlds, you got the 2D thing, and now you don't have to go through the sequence of dungeons exactly how, like you have to get this sword to kill this guy. You can rent those weapons and go to the different
Isn't
places.
it also a bit open-ended, kind of, because can't you go to the different... You can buy the weapons... Instead of having to unlock them like in the sequence, like you can buy the weapons. Like you can buy the fire staff and then go to the ice thing immediately.
Yeah.
But if you do it out of sequence, then it becomes like there's like a sequence to do it apparently, where it flows really well, like you're saying, Josh. And if you just do it a different way or any other way, it's really really hard or something. Does that make sense?
Well, that's what Cassie said. Is like she looked it up online after she played through most of it, and there is a sequence that like follows much better, but like she didn't do that. She she didn't realize that there was a sequence at first, so she kind of went all over.
Yeah, I actually really liked A Link Between Worlds. I thought that was kind of the first one that made something old feel fresh again.
Yeah.
I felt like the other kind of games, the other Zelda games, after kind of Majora's Mask kind of style and after Wind Waker, that they just kind of didn't feel that unique or that special anymore. But, with Tropical Freeze, I mean, is that one like, did that one have new characters to play as? Or like, how did they reinvent it?
Well, they bring back Daisy, which is awesome. And they added Cranky.
Yeah.
But Daisy's...
Kong?
Yeah, Daisy's
Nice.
probably the best in the fact that, she can fly and like save your ass a lot of the times. Like,
Do they have the co-op? Can two people play at once?
I haven't played it co-op because I only have one controller.
Oh.
So that's my problem. Otherwise,
I have this thing where like any time in a game that I can be an old man, I always try to do it because I just think that it's awesome. Like I remember like in like the old Star Wars games, like you could like change the look and feel of your person.
Yeah.
And so I'd always make myself like an old man with like an old beard, but then he just like kicks ass.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And I did the same in Saints Row. Like I made myself like,
Oh
an old
my
man
God.
that looked like George Washington.
That's
It was,
awesome.
like, awesome. Yeah.
That's like a
It's
roar.
like this is an underrepresented demographic.
You must
in
oh
games,
my
is
God!
old people.
You need to then play Metal Gear Solid 4 immediately. So you got old Solid
Oh, yeah,
Snake.
yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Are you guys gonna play the new Metal Gear Solid or the new Metal Gear?
I heard it's only 2 hours long.
Yeah,
what
I know.
Oh my God!
I can't.
What is up with this?
I can't spend that much money on it.
No.
No.
Yeah, now it's $60 for.
I'll wait until that's in the bargain bin. Like,
Jordy, how much are games there in Belfast?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Off the top of my head, let me have a look. Actually, let me get.
Brand new Xbox One or PS4 game.
Let me see.
Because I don't. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 ain't worth $60.
Hell
60
no.
US dollars. No.
No.
I think you still get you know what? Even no matter what this is here, I think it's about is it 40? Let me see.
If it's
£40,
$40, I'm gonna. Oh,
Which-
40 pounds makes sense. Yeah, that would be
Which-
about
Which-
60
which-
bucks.
Which means it's about $60 or
Yeah.
so this-
Yeah.
What's it? Let's see. What's new? God, I can't think off the top of my head.
Game
Game?
Zone.
What? I don't think we.
Oh, what's a new game?
Mhm. What's the $60 game right now?
Just look up Titanfall. Like that would be a new one coming up.
Yeah, it'll have
Yep,
the
yep,
price
yep.
on there.
Oh God, this is. Let me see. It's gonna be. Come
No
on.
pressure for our audience listeners that we're all
That sweet Dell's about to crash.
I know, right? Oh my God.
Uh,
It's yeah. This
It's like more than two
we were
things.
poking fun at Jody's computer because it was built in the 80s, so it's like
It's
he's running Commodore 64 over here.
oh jeez. It's about 40. It's about £40, which is about
Okay, so that's about the same.
Yeah, yeah. That's a big surprise actually, because usually, geez, it used to be not the same. It used to be we would have £60 games here. Oh God.
Do you guys remember games like old Super Nintendo games that were like $80?
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like in today's money, it's like $120. You know, you're like, what the?
God, yeah, and it was like some shitty, Madden 1992.
Yeah.
Hey, don't bag on Madden from them days.
Oh,
no, I'm
sorry,
kidding.
sorry, you're right, Tecmo Super Bowl, I know, is awesome. Yeah.
NHL during the 90s was bomb, dude. You could like check each other through the glass and stuff. It was freaking awesome.
Oh, nice. There's
but-
like definitely. Oh my God! Like there's definitely yeah, like our parents, like now I have to salute them for buying us all those games that, like, you know, these $120 games.
Oh yeah,
Which,
I feel bad.
You know, like, and in money nowadays is $120. What? How did they?
Yeah.
God, now I know why they look so crippled and sad on Christmas Day when they're like, oh my God, now we're gonna have to eat some leftovers now for the rest of January. It's like, God.
I'm sorry, no new shoes for you.
You wanted this game. It was game or food, and
Yeah, game or holy socks. It's like, oh, okay, well.
So this is what we have to get our parents really awesome Christmas presents because to make up for this, I feel so bad. In fact, I don't, Josh, have I told our audience the 32X story?
no.
Oh my God.
Oh God, I feel bad about this. Like 20 years later on this. Okay, so there was the do you guys remember the Sega Genesis? And then there was the
Yes,
add-on
yes.
cartridge thing called the 32X.
Yes.
It was shitty and horrible, and there was like 10 games for it. Well, I used to love looking through like the Sunday ads, like seeing like all sorts of like cool video games and stuff. Well, they had the 32X, and it was on sale, and I wanted it so bad. Even though there was no games for it. Even though there was no games, I wanted this. And I asked my mom to take me, and she's like, oh, sorry. This was like a weeknight, too. And she's like, sorry, I can't take you. And I was like, no, please. I was a total brat about it. She ended up taking me to the toy store to go find it, and it wasn't there. And so then we went to another Toys R Us. I was on the other side of town, all for this freaking system that, like, I didn't even really use just because there was nothing available on it. I feel bad about it. In fact, I was telling my wife this story, and I think, like, we called up my mom afterwards, and I was like, I'm really sorry about that. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about because, yeah, it's like, yeah, kids and wanting like these games. They don't even know how good they have it nowadays with all their selection, and their options.
Yeah, not only
Buying digitally.
Not only
Yeah.
that, like you now know what games are good or bad. I remember as a kid,
Yeah.
you like
Yeah.
based it on the box art. You're like,
Yes!
that game looks
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna buy it, and then you're like destroyed when it's terrible, and you feel
Oh.
bad because your parents just spent like every penny they had saved for
There's one.
Did you guys subscribe to any of the gaming magazines? Did you guys get any of
Hell
those?
no. Unless
Yes!
actually, I got Nintendo Power. It was like
Yes!
one of those free trials, and they gave you like 3 free issues, and I was like,
Yes!
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that was about
me
it.
too. Oh, that was brilliant.
They're little screenshots, that are like an inch by an inch big, and you're like, that game looks amazing.
Yeah.
Look at those graphics. It's like that big.
I used to get my dad's magnifying glass, and it'd have like a magnifying
Oh
glass
my.
in the magnifying glass, and we would like study and be like, "What the fuck? This is amazing!"
Do you guys ever remember as kids like going, graphics are never gonna get better than this? It looks so real.
Yeah,
and then
I thought that when Mario 64 came out, I remember.
I felt
Yeah.
that whenever I saw Starwing or Star Fox, I think it's called.
Oh, Starfix, yeah.
Oh my god! On the SNES, it was like, oh wow, never better, never
Graphics are
better.
amazing. Look at those huge triangles.
Yeah.
Look at those.
Their faces look so realistic. I went back and played Crash Team Racing recently, and I'm like, oh my god, this game looks horrible.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
but it's still fun to play.
Oh, yeah.
It's still amazing to play. I love
Alias
it.
to shit.
Yeah, it makes me think. Now I'm like, oh, you're playing Titanfall, and you're like, oh, these graphics are pretty good, not too bad, not too shabby, and it's like, 10 years from now we're gonna be like, oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Looking. Look at that shite.
Well, I think like the problem right now for me is the fact that all those like games that are coming out on the 360 and the One or the PS4 and PS3, they're not true next gen games. I was actually kind of upset last night when I played Assassin's Creed 4 because it's just like, oh, it runs at a higher frame rate and gets a little bit further distance, but really there's no difference in like.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for like what's that one hacking game? The
Oh
open world one that's based in Chicago.
yeah,
Watch Dogs.
yeah.
Watch Dogs.
I'm so
yeah.
excited about it.
Like
Oh,
I was seeing like some comparison graphics on that one of 360, versus Xbox One and PS4 and stuff, and like that is a night and day difference.
Yeah.
Like it looks so much better on next gen.
really?
For that one. So excited.
When did they push it back to? Because originally it was supposed to come out in like November,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
February,
sometime
and now
around.
it's like
Oh,
March or
God.
May or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With a
I'm
whiff
sad.
of development hell there, kind of,
Well, something major had to have happened because it's like a 6-month pushback. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think they did it like just a few weeks before it was about to release.
Yeah.
Actually. Normally they give people like a heads up. There was like people with pre-orders, like they were ready, like Christmas Day gifts, for.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, not gonna happen.
yeah. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
so you're gonna have to wait for your gift. Here's the pre-order slip.
I wish I could tell my boss this. I'm just like, yeah, not gonna be
I
done. It's gonna
know!
take me another 9 months.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to
Sorry.
know. Yeah, the management approach they do in those companies for Telltale Games and Activision, right? So they do
Yeah.
Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
I want to be in that company because
Yeah.
fuck that. Like,
Sorry, boss.
yeah. Oh, 2 weeks to release. Oh
Maybe
yeah,
another
give it
9
another
months.
6 months.
Yeah.
What? Like, what?
Just makes no sense.
Yeah.
What software development model are they following? Waterfall with a pump to pump it back up to the top? I mean, what the hell is happening? It's like waterfall mixed with agile mixed with. Oh my god.
The wheel well. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, guys, I think this pretty much wraps up this episode of the Guys with Glasses podcast. Josh, this is episode 30.
30.
Wow, that is insane.
We've turned 30.
Big 3-0. Midlife crisis.
Yeah.
I need to get a sports car. I'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. Well, next week, I want to talk about Attack on Titan.
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
it's this awesome anime. I've been trying to get Jody and stuff to watch it. It's just awesome. And yeah, maybe we'll talk some more about some other cool games coming out.
All right.
It's all right. All right.
Oh,
guys.
actually,
Well,
you know what we could talk about? Sorry, I apologize
Oh, yeah.
for cutting you off.
No.
Is Telltale finally releasing Wolf Among Us after like forever waiting?
That's an excellent topic for next week. So let's
Exactly.
save that one. I still have to play it, so
Ooh.
we'll chat.
All right.
All right. Well, this is Bandito John.
No name Josh.
And where's Joey?
Signing off.
See ya.